It seems the Adelaide Crows will play finals for the first time since 2017. It's been a long and painful spell in the bottom 10, but there is enough firepower in this Crows side to do what they did in 2017, and that's reach a grand final. But unlike the previous couple seasons, where the Crows forward line has fired, there is a legitimate backbone to this team and a strong defence. Under pressure coach Matthew Nicks has got the squad he has dreamed of having since taking over at the end of 2019, and the Showtime Crows are back in season 2025. Before we get to the flashy high-scoring offense, there are a couple notable aspects of Adelaide which make them look sustainable and trustworthy. At the end of round 18, Adelaide have had the third least points against in the entire competition, and are just behind Gold Coast, who do have a game to play, so technically it is the second best defensive unit in the competition. It has flown under the radar a bit, but it's a defensive team that has gelled well together for a while. Now Jordan Butts being out is significant, but Irishman Mark Keane has been as solid as you can ask for, and ever since Joel Amati kicked 9 goals on him, he's been reliable. Rory Laird as a small defender fits in nicely, and Wayne Miller rejoins him as the key rebounders and playmakers. But it's the intercept game improvement that has been critical. Mitch Hinge has become super reliable, and so has Josh Worrell as a third tall. The 24-year-old has taken some time to adjust as a professional footballer, but the wait has been worth it, and his size and all-round defensive game has been a highlight. Then the lockdown defender on the smalls and mediums is Max Michaelani, who we will touch on a bit later. In just 12 months, the defence has gone from shaky to trustworthy, and it's come from Laird going back, Miller returning from injury, and internal improvement. The other element is their home record. It's such a big part of being a non-Victorian club. At the Adelaide Oval, the Crows are 7 wins and 1 loss, and that was to Geelong in gather round. Any side that wants to finish top 4 or top 2 has to win 90% of their home games, and the Crows are well on track to do that. 4-4 away from home is solid, but the base for a high ladder finish for a non-Victorian team is always built at home. For comparison, last season, Adelaide were just 5 wins and 6 losses at Adelaide Oval. But to be labelled a Showtime team, you need to have that offensive firepower. Out of Adelaide's top 10 rated players, 6 of them are forwards, with Daniel Curtin also spending a lot of time on the wing. It's a huge number to have so many of your best players playing inside 50. Now most of the media attention is on the big 3, and that's for good reason. Riley Thilthorpe is a beast and contested marking machine. Darcy Fogarty, although undersized for a key forward, is incredibly strong and agile, and the older statesman in Walker has the unique attribute of his field kicking and up the ground play. It's a trio that all have their own strengths and most importantly get out of each other's way. Combined, they have kicked 99 goals so far and are a massive point of difference when compared to the other teams around that top 6 mark. But don't sleep on their smalls and half forwards. It's a massive strength, and similarities can be made with the talls. Ben Keys works tirelessly up and down the ground and can also negate opposition halfbacks. Alex Neil-Bullen adds a layer of protection coming up to the stoppage, and Rochelle, before he hurt his knee, and Isaac Rankin are the star goal kickers and creative players. It's a great mix of smalls, just like the 3 talls. Throw in Jordan Dawson as well, who has floated forward for 12 goals this year, and it's hard to find a more complete front 6 or 7. The midfield is about league average for stoppage differential this year, but because of the strength of both ends of the ground, Adelaide is second, only behind Collingwood, in the all-important turnover scoring differential. That shouldn't be any surprise when the team has such a solid defence and balanced forward line. It's why the Crows are a scary proposition and really have been all season. Here are some names that will make Crows supporters shudder: Ned McHenry, Chase Jones and Fisher Mackesy. They were 3 of the high draft picks taken during the club's reset. The thing in common is all of them struggled at AFL level, and only Jones remains on the list. However, here are some newer names: Riley Thilthorpe, Josh Rochelle, Jake Saligo, Max Michaelani and Daniel Curtin. The thing in common with these names is that they are thriving at AFL level. The high drafted players taken after 2020 are now all finding their feet and have been a big part of that natural improvement. Pair this with the Crows' biggest list strength, which is recruiting, and finally the pieces have come together. It was the big knock on Adelaide. Sure, they can bring talent in like Dawson, Rankin and the delisted pair in Keys and Hinge, but could the next layer of players like Rochelle, Thilthorpe and Curtin play their part? In 2025, they are. Sid Draper, who was pick 4 from 2024, is still developing nicely in the wings, and his short bursts of play at AFL level have shown he should develop into a very good player. Curtin, out of the really young group, has been the surprise this year. The Crows traded up to snatch him at pick 8 in 2023, and the 197cm Western Australian has owned the wing at times. Just watching him, the sky is the limit, but for right now he is fitting in nicely and looks like a draft steal and more genius recruiting. And away from the field, the final important piece that was added in the off-season was Murray Davis. He is often seen sitting right next to Matthew Nicks in the coach's box. The long-time Brisbane assistant coach and ball movement expert has been an under-the-radar appointment that seems to have unlocked the full offense of the team. He is officially known as the club's coaching director, but his influence runs deep. In 2024, Adelaide kicked just the 11th most goals per game. Now Thilthorpe was not back until late in the season, but a majority of the forward line and midfield players are still at the club. In 2025, the Crows are only second to the Bulldogs, scoring 14.6 goals per game. It's a big turnaround, and there is a clear correlation with Davis coming to the club, who did spend 11 years at Brisbane and helped transform them into genuine contenders for the past 6 or 7 seasons. He might be the helping hand and experience Nicks needed to get the best out of his players. So far, so good. At this stage in the season, the Crows are just 2 points off of Brisbane and a shot at top 2. At this point, a home qualifying final would be a huge bonus on an already impressive season. A lot of people would have had Adelaide bouncing up the ladder in 2025, and they've done just that. In such a close competition, to improve so quickly is a testament to the club, who have been under fire for some time. The Showtime Crows are back and will be box office in September. It seems as if they have most of the pieces in place to stay a genuine threat for a long period of time as well. And with a large Adelaide fan base behind them, Adelaide Oval looks set to become the next away venue teams dread visiting.